Hello Pisces, welcome to your mid-month check-in. I hope you are doing well. Let's see what's up with you and how are you progressing through the month of November. The Hierophant. You may be learning, studying, there may be education involved, or you may be a teacher. The Tower, two major arcanas. And the Prince of Swords. So you are progressing with the Prince of Swords, especially this one sitting in the Chariot. I just did a Scorpio reading and Scorpio had the Prince of Swords as well. So there's movement, progress, some kind of victorious progress, spreading out wings, gaining a higher perspective. I feel it's a very spiritual time for you. With the Tower, some old limitations and old forms are collapsing, are falling down, and you are liberating yourself. And this is happening through your conscious efforts. So that's why I said you are liberating yourself, because it's the result of your diligent work. So you are almost as if you have been for quite some time already trying to take that tower down, you know, brick by brick. But this time is like a breakthrough. So finally the tower is really starting to seriously collapse and you are breaking free towards your truth with clarity, with that higher perspective, right? It makes perfect sense with the Prince of Swords. From a place of some kind of captivity where you were locked, there was no movement, to a very speedy movement with the Prince of Swords, right? So that's a huge change and a huge transition. And I feel that it's primarily related to your spirituality, because we have that up-leveling in your mind space with the Eagle, gaining higher perspective, and the Hierophant. So you are really deeply connecting with whatever higher source you are tapping into. And what is happening now almost feels as a result of a long-lasting and deep meditative state. Hence, I said at the beginning, some kind of studying, learning, education. It was your learning process. You were learning as you were moving forward and progressing with patience and diligence. The Hierophant is said to hold the keys to life, and that he worked hard to get the honor of having them, right? So it's like with this Prince of Swords representing truth and clarity and understanding. It's like you have worked really hard to receive those keys to life. It's like you are coming to answers you are looking for. I hope that makes sense. Or understanding you were looking for. It really is, and it feels very sacred. But obviously it can relate to any area of life. Okay, so it may be any kind of education that that is setting you free. Okay, so knowledge that you gain, that is helping you overcome limitations, perhaps limitations of your logical mind, right? And also this means self-imposed limitations. So it can really relate to any area of life where knowledge helps you burn those old forms away. And maybe gaining clarity within a relationship. Okay, it really can relate to any area of life. So let's see what's ahead of you. Five of Pentacles. Judgment, beautiful. And the Hermit. Look how many major arcanas you have. The Hierophant, Tower, Judgment, and Hermit. 4 major arcanas on 6 cards on the table. So Five of Pentacles says worry. It is some kind of poverty or lack. But I feel that this is what you are moving away from. This is moving to the past, because that's the limitation. You know, with the Five of Pentacles, those two beggars, they are typically shown by the church. So symbolically, the church is the place where they could find help, assistance, but they didn't. The question was why? Are they too proud to reach out for help, or are they not aware that those resources that they are currently lacking are there? Resources of whatever kind, right? It's like those kind of limitations that you are not aware of certain resources being available to you. Now the limitations collapse and you finally recognize all the resources. Perhaps mental, it may be spiritual, as I said, but really of whatever kind. It may be a business mindset too, that you have been for a long time educating yourself, working diligently on some kind of a project. There were limitations or obstacles on your way, but with diligent work, brick by brick, you were working on getting rid of those obstacles, right? So really can relate to any area of life. So you are moving away from that state of poverty and lack. You are coming to the realization of the abundance of resources that are available to you. With the Judgment card coming back to life, and also coming back into the connection with that divine higher, however you call it, right? With this archangel and those people holding those divine strings, for lack of a better word. It's like you are tapping back into those divine wires, okay? Hear the call and act upon it. You have heard this call long time ago. That's why you went into the Hierophant mode. Some kind of learning, exploring, but also patience and diligence. And the Hermit in this particular case, I don't feel really that it represents solitude. It's more of another symbol of wisdom, but also research, gaining experiences, knowledge that is coming from experiences and kind of like on-the-job experiences, right? Things that we went through in life. With the Prince of Swords and the Hermit showing up beneath, the Prince of Swords representing that expanding consciousness and horizons widening. It only relates to your inner wisdom growing, or you realizing, again, all the resources that are available to you. Right? So not only some kind of external resources or more of palpable resources with the energy of the Five of Pentacles, but also those resources that are within you, because really all the resources that we need, the primarily important resources, are all within us, right? So I really like this for you because it does feel with an ascension and up-leveling, okay, in your mind space. It does feel very spiritual, even though it can relate to any area of life, but you are growing in wisdom from this. There's progress from this Hierophant, who is represented by a young guy, to that Hermit that is represented by a person with gray hair. That is just a symbol of wisdom. It's like through this process you are maturing and up-leveling significantly. It's almost as if you're jumping through a couple levels, right? From this young guy to this older person with nothing in between, okay? So that's a huge transition for you. Trust. I trust life and my strengths. Each moment guides me to the light. Everything on my path is placed there for my growth. Absolutely, growth. Believing in your strengths. These are the resources that I mentioned. Each moment guides me to the light. The Hermit is always walking with a lamp. So you always have the light. You need to trust. Have a wonderful rest of November, Pisces. Take care of yourself and I will see you next time. Bye.